Hi everyone, Eddie here from Eddie Makes Art. Welcome to the PM Artist Makers of Art and Artists Facebook groups, Makers Creative Collab 2024 and the Makers Collage Prompt for 2024. That's one that I host. It's all in one video. The Makers Creative Collab 2024 theme for January is Freshen It Up, and it works perfectly with my Makers Collage Prompt, hashtag New Beginnings. All info for makers will be in the video description box below. To begin my project, what I do is first prepare my page in my art journal to receive all the mixed media I'm going to put on it for this collage. And all I'm using is a Liquitex clear gesso right over that page, and I give it a nice coating, nothing too heavy. Now, once that completely dries, I can come back and start my first layer, which is going to be an embossing, and I'm going to use I believe it's a Tim Holtz script stamp, and I'm going to emboss the background with bits and pieces of it, and I'm going to use just black embossing powder. Now, this didn't turn out exactly as I hoped it would. I put way too much in the middle, I think, but I'm gonna go with it. I think I can make it work for what I'm doing. Kind of, it's evolving as as I go through the process, and you'll see that coming up. The next thing I'm gonna do is take some of this gold paint from Amsterdam. I believe it's their deep gold shade, and I'm going to paint over the embossing so the script peeks through the gold. And the reason I picked gold is because I'll be turning 50 this year, and that's color for 50, right? Gold. That's what I've heard. Anyway, I like gold too. So in some recent Happy Mail, I got my friend Becky sent me some really cool paper flowers that are, cut in different sizes and shapes. And I was hoping to use them. But I didn't really, I was kind of picking out colors that I thought went well. And I was going to use that print that you see at the top right of the screen as sort of a sun, sort of something like that. But I ended up not using that, and you'll see why later. But I went ahead with the flowers, and I picked out some combinations that I thought would work well. So these are the three that I finally decided on. And Becky also sent me these really cool brads that are star-shaped. And so I thought I'd add a little more bling with those on there instead of the usual brad or, just something different. But I think this worked out perfectly. To give some added bling to the flowers, I decided to spray it with the sheer shimmer spray in gold. Ooh, that was hard to say. I then took a sanding block and I went over areas of the embossed background and took off some of the gold paint over the script writing to give it a more roughed up kind of look. And all I did to clean it off was just take a damp cloth and just wipe it off gently, and it gets rid of all those little particles you don't want. Now, since the theme of the collage is new beginnings and the collab is FreshNItUp, I still wanted to pull in something older, something that I had previously made. And if you've been watching my videos and following me since the beginning, that piece of paper there that I am gel printing with some alizarin crimson was a total F up from when I first started gel printing. However, when I finally pulled it off, because I wet it down and because it got stuck to the stencil, but when I finally pulled it off, it looked really cool. So I've saved it, I let it dry, and used it in different projects. And I thought, let's retire this final piece into this collage as a sort of homage to where it all began, kind of, sort of, right? So that was my thinking. Um, it doesn't stay this way for long, trust me. So I took this piece of textured paper and painted it black. I just did it here on my gel plate. You can, my journal is under the gel plate, but it looks like I'm on my journal, but it's not. And once I got that laid on the gel plate, I took a print that I'm going to use as well and laid it over that and took up some of those black areas onto my gel print. I made this gel print during my live stream last week. And so I picked up some more of the black, didn't want to waste it. And I just kept going over it with the brayer and adding some more paint to make sure I got it to the color I wanted, which was not white. So I took some of this black paint off with an old gel print I had, but it kind of created a really cool print. So I'll have to bring that back to another video later on. Now it's time to take some my painty papers and tear them up. This one has some gold paint on it, but it was created with Brushos, and it was created with distress sprays. All kinds of stuff is on there, but it was done on some mulberry paper, so it's nice and thin. And so I decided to take 2 strips, and I'm doing this in 2 groups, kind of like a balance. You know, I feel like my life needs more balance, and that's kind of one of my goals for 2024. I love this textured paper that I chose to put on top of the painty papers and prints, because it lets you see enough through, but it still gives you a nice amount of texture on the collage. Next, I thought I was going to add some numbers, and yeah, you'll see, it just doesn't look good. So I kind of scrapped that idea pretty quick. Back to the flowers. We're going to do something here. You didn't think I was going to leave them this color. No. I'm using distress spray. This is, I believe, peeling walls or peeling paint. And then I'm taking some high fluid black acrylic paint, and it's a distress paint. So once I add it to this distress spray, it's going to create some really cool looking textures on the flowers, because don't forget they are paper, so they're absorbing this really well. And before I wasted any paint, I took some and edged the gel print and, you know, flicked some paint splatters all over it. Don't worry, I didn't waste what was on the mat. I made some cool painty papers that maybe I'll show in another video. Now it's time for these bad boys to set aside for a bit and dry completely before I try to glue them down. Have y'all heard about my friend Becky? Yeah, she sent me these stamps too. And so to solve my numbers conundrum, I decided to use these stamps and put the year 2024 but in Roman numerals. Next, I added another layer to the background, and this time I'm using the nested circle stamp that is from PM Artist Studio, and just embossed a few circles in a red shade all over the background. It's time to glue stuff down. I'm using the Liquitex Basics acrylic medium gel, but I'm using the matte, and unfortunately my gloss gel medium hasn't arrived yet, so this is all I had, but I think it still worked out well. And I'm just laying everything down, give it a nice layer of gel medium, and you'll see at the end how awesome it turned out. Resist myself, so I took my black Posca pen and added 50s in different areas of the background, and then just, you know, some other little decorations. I think I did some dots and stuff, and that was it. I hope you enjoyed this Makers Creative Collab for January 2024 with the Makers Collage Prompt. And I had a blast doing this. It took me a lot longer than this video, but it was definitely worth it. I took a lot of time thinking about it, and I'm pleased with the results. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and look in the description box for all the information on the Makers Creative Collab and the Makers Collage Prompt. Thanks so much. See you soon.